Mindful Moodling will be starting in a few minutes. Well, you know how early I am. Anyway, just bear with me, the video's about to start soon. Thanks, bye. Right. Hello. I'm having a problem. I've got something on here. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I want. I don't want that. Got it. Hello. Good afternoon, good morning, evening, wherever you are. Just going to bring you up. Hello. How are you? Oh, what have I done here? Excuse me 1 minute. Hello. Boom. Right. I'm not showing you that yet. So I hope you're all sat. Sit. Get your pen, your paper. And this is for our Nick Roberts. I'm going to give you a minute to all get your stuff. And what we will be doing is, hopefully, we're going to be doing, but I'll show you what I've been drawing for you. But they're just my messing about things so that I get, you know, a feel for it. So, yeah, I'm going to give you a few minutes to see if anybody joins us. Hi, Carol. Don't know if there's anybody. I hope there's people. Oh, I don't get what's going on. As long as somebody can see me, I don't care. People might have forgot that it's on, but people hopefully will watch it later as well. Alexa, play some traditional Chinese music, please. Right, looks like there's only 3 of you here.
Including Violet Benjamin and Sylvie Chen on Amazon Music.
Alexa, stop. I don't want to listen to that. Alexa, play traditional Chinese music, please.
Playing traditional Chinese music on Amazon Music.
I'm just waiting for everybody to get in. It might only be 3 or 4, but just wait for people to turn up. And I will start annoying you very soon. We might have some more people in. Oh, 6 people. I thought there'd been a few more, you know. So, hello. Yeah, probably on Facebook, I think. Right, okay. I think it might be that it wasn't open. I've now put it on Facebook. Someone wants to pin it for me. If someone's there, don't worry if you're not. That looks like it's going live. We've got all YouTubers at the moment, so I'm just going to we've got a Facebook user. Brilliant. We've got a Facebook user. It's jumped up now. Thank you, guys. Wondered what was going on. Thank you for the info, Karen. And I have been drawing some little ideas, and it had to be special because it was for Nick, but not in a very sad way. I have spoken to his husband, and he's very happy for me to do this. There's no, I'm not trying to promote anything in any way. I don't want to do it like that. I just want it to be a thank you to him for what he gave to me. And hopefully many of you got to meet him too. And I did care a lot about Nick. We got to be friends during the years of Achanda. And I did very much have a soft spot for him. He's a very kind soul. And he'll remain with me and with you for a very long time. So, right. So I did some I consider really, really duff pictures, but to show you how I go through, splitting things up for you. So this is how I do it. Because sometimes I'm like, I just show you sections, but I do have a reference. I always have a point of reference. You know, I'm not drawing from imagination. I'm drawing from images. So just have a quick look who's here. We've got Carol. Hang on. I hate it goes off when it comes on. Hi, Carol. Hi, Louise. Hey up, Chuck. Carol. Hey up, Chuck. Facebook user. Hello. We've got Sharon, the lovely Sharon, our coordinator down under. Oh, that doesn't sound right, does it? Facebook user. Hi, lovely to you. Lovely Jenny, Facebook user. Sorry, couldn't find. Right. So we've got another one who's found us now. That's brilliant. We've got Karen again. Yeah, and about Karen, you know what I mean? Yeah, we're gaining in popularity. Yes. You'll hear everybody say that. You'll hear everybody say he was a gentleman. No, that's sexist, isn't it? He was a very caring, sharing, lovely man. But you know, yeah, you've got to be careful whatever you say. Anyway, it's a celebration, and I was going to do an elephant, but I've done them, and I thought I would do something quite that I like. And there's something beautiful about this little hummingbird, how it flies around, and and it's a sort of stylized one. Yeah, now you're everywhere with broadband. Yeah, that's it. So I broke this down. We're not going to do it like this. I mean, that one looks like weird, doesn't it? It looks like he's eating a mushroom. But this is how I break it down. Okay, so I look at these and I think, yeah, I like that one. I like that one. There's certain ones I like, certain ones that I don't like. That's quite a cheeky one. That's a nice one to do because it's quite easy. But there again, I like this one. And this one here. So hopefully I'll be able to produce something that I think would be all right. Oh, great stuff. Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Because then, you know, she can see how I do it. And now, because it's hard to see the shapes in some things, isn't it? It's hard to see the shapes. So it's going to be a hummingbird. Oh, what's that? I think we're a bogey or something. So first things I'm going to do, I'm going to use a B pencil. So just check which one it is. Do you know, I can't see. My eyes have gone squiffy. It's because I've been doing too much computer work. I'm getting a bit boss-eyed with it. So I have to be careful. Oh, I can't even see it. What is it? OHB. Right. Okay. I'm going to give myself a little. In fact, I'm going to tear that off because it's annoying me already. What did? Oh, I've got the cat on the other side. There's a good one. She'll look. She'd like that. One in the middle. That's that one and that one put together. And that one broken down even more. So yeah, they're all similar, aren't they? So what I'm going to do is give myself a bit of space. Just going to check who's live with what. So we've got. All right, okay. We've got Junk Journals and YouTube. Got no one on mine. Got no mates anyway, so I've got to choose which way I'm going to do the bird. Am I going to do the bird portrait or landscape? So, you know, if it was portrait, I'd be doing that one because I'd need it longer than I would wider. If I was doing this, it'd probably be landscape because although the wing is it's quite big that way. So if I'm having anything with it, like that one, that would be squarer. And just to show you what I mean, if I do that now, you can see it's longer than it is wider. So if I do that one, can you see it's longer, it's wider than it is longer. So if you do that when you're drawing, not quite as scruffy as this, you will see how to use portrait or landscape. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm just reading. I've got Facebook user question. I left and came back and it all appears normal. I could never be that. But anyway, let's get on. So celebration. I love the hummingbird. I just think so many uses of it in your artwork, and it's got a really lovely shape for pattern. So I'm just going to whip it off. There you go. And Karen's got me on a big teller. She's full of nightmares. So the first thing I'm going to do is I quite like the idea of a bigger version this way. So I'm going to go for landscape and I'm going to draw myself a box, okay? And the box is not because I want to do it that size. The box is basically for scale. So get yourself a box. I'm going to take off that bag because it's annoying me. There is another one about my Patreon. I'll sling that on at the bottom, but it might be no, it's not too bad. Not too bad. I spoke to my doctor yesterday, and he wants to know a bit more about Moodlim because he's very impressed with what I'm doing. I know it's helping me, so I thought I'd share that with you. I shouldn't really because it's private, confidential, but I can't. But I'm happy for you to know. So that's what I said. I told him what I was doing with everyone and myself, and he was like totally happy. He was very happy about it. I was over the moon, actually. Over the moon. So what I'll do is, I quite like this one because I think you can see the shapes, but I like that one. I like that, but I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that one. So I am going to go with, but what would I do if I just did that? I like that even better now. Should we go for that one? Okay, go for that one. So the picture is longer than wider. Oh, for goodness sake. Get away from me. You're like, I only need a pencil. Why have I got all this rubbish out? So I've got my little doofer. And that's another thing when I'm doing like beaks. I'll do beaks and I'll do them like that. And just to see how I want them. And then as I do that line, I'll do 1, 2, 3. And I'll choose which eye I want. I think I've done it there. Does that make sense? So what it does is it allows you to sort of move it, see which one it is, and rub the wrong ones out. Because if you rub something out before you've altered it, you'll just keep doing the same thing. So it's a little tip. No, it isn't. It's a little tip. Oh, for gosh sake. Right. Okay. So let's get going. I am going to have maybe, because don't forget these are beautifully small. It's like it was such a gentle soul, and it was a lovely soul. So it was only, this is only small, but it's such a hard-working little bird, and it brings so much pleasure and colour and life, and it lives so fast, and he was, not saying he lived fast, but, it was always on the go and stuff, and he went to Bulgaria to get the cleaner air, sorry, and he fought really hard, and I think, against the odds, he fought really hard. So to me, it's a nice symbolic meaning, and it's not too creepy or cheesy or whatever. So I've got this massive, it looks like a bum sticking out, but it's not. It's going to be like a flower, I think. So if I show you that, it's not eating a donut. What it is, it's going to have like the morning glory flowers, but you can change it to anything. And then if you look at it like that, you'll see it's like he put his beak in, and then it's got like that and some leaves and stuff. But they're the details that we do later. I just need a point of reference. You don't need to get that. So the first thing is we've got to get scale. So his tail can't go really past there. Okay, doing this one. His wings are very big, so it's got to be up there, and his head here. So we've got that. Let me do it for you. That shape. Okay, so we've got a triangle like that. So that's the first thing. Have you got your triangle? Yeah. You might need to bring stuff in. That's cool. But all you do is need to bring in that shape. Looks daft, doesn't it? But stay with me. Stay with me. The beak isn't included because we don't really know about that one yet. So I'm going to put in here a circle. So if I bring that in, show you a circle like that, and then a I've got to longer than that because I didn't take account for his tail. So then I've got this like sausage thing. Well, no, it's more like a potato. It's a potato. And just then I'm going to see this line. I'm going to come down. I know that this is only guideline, so I can go over it. And I'm just going to follow that line down like that. Okay. And then it's going to go up and straight like that. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger because I can afford to. I can either concentrate on the bird or the background, Now, I'm just going to follow. I know this sounds really daft here, but if you divide up the tail and just do that through your shape, it gives you a good idea about body and where positioning be. You're going to rub it all out in a bit, But now let's look at the wings. Now the wings are, because we're going to conjoin all this to make our little bird. And it's, if you see here, it's a way back. So we've got one that joins on the edge that just comes up a little bit. I'm not going to draw them in properly. And then the next one is a triangle to the top and to the body. You see, I can see straight away now that needs to be bigger. It's not right. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit, and now I'm going to say, right, so I'm going to draw, sorry, should have done this first. I'm going to draw a triangle. That's better. So we've got a circle, a potato, a sort of cut off square, and it's just that line. And then that middle of his tail there. I'm not moving my hand, look. And it just smooths, and you don't even need to draw the beak because it's there. And then the head and the eyes would be, you know, following along that. So there, and there. I might need to put just a suggestion there. Looks a bit stupid at the moment, this, but so just putting in a triangle. So now what I'm going to do is define it a little bit, because I think you need to be able to see a bit more of what it actually looks like. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, because I want it to be about the, so when you're making anything bigger, draw it how you feel comfortable, then add. Because what you're doing is you're building like a skeleton, and then the skeleton becomes padded out with muscle tissues and stuff, but we just draw with the shapes first. So if you remember, it was a circle, potato, sort of get your line there on the back of your egg or spud or whatever, go straight down. I mean, even if you did that, if you just did that and then rub out everything you want to, you've got that. So the next one is, it's sort of the belly sort of comes down, because that's the back. So his little feet would be there somewhere. Okay, so we've got our bird, got his head, we've got the flower. Now, I'm going to be careful here, because if I draw the flower that big, he looks like a dinosaur. So I'm going to chop that down. Okay, so let's go for it now. We've got our basic pattern, looks very strange, but I'm going to make some drawing choices now. So I'm going to use a pen and get my finest one. So that is almost like the size of a hair. So we'll go for a 0.05. Now, hopefully you'll see this, and hopefully there is a pencil in it. Yeah, there is. It's very, very fine, this, in case you make a right codswallop. So what I'm going to do... Oh, no, don't do that yet. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Right, so now we're going to rub out parts that don't work. And when I mean don't work, they're just in the way. So I'm just going to rub out that line there, okay? I'm going to start to rub out all these extra lines. I can put them back in. Now, it still looks like a peanut, doesn't it? But I can start to look at scale and shape. Okay, so where they were a peanut, we're going to sort of join them like that. So we've got that idea of joining the circle together. So if I show you this, so we've done that, and I think this needs to have a bit more of a longer there, which is cool, because I think it's way too, it has a very small body though, and I'm looking at this and it comes, yeah, that's about right. So I'm going to get rubbing out the others. not set in stone, this. You can do lots of changes as you wish. In fact, if I'm looking at that now, needs a bit of a red like that. So next thing is we'll put in that line. Now we will have a belly line, but it won't be quite as heavy as that. My suggestion is always have a reference piece in front of you, because it looks strange if you don't. So this triangle, show you again. This triangle is going to be softened up. So the original triangle was like that, okay? What we're going to do is soften it up. So we're going to slightly round it, bring it up, and then we're going to go, and it's that same, remember I said, it's that same shape there. So we're going to do the first one, and it doesn't hit the body, it comes back in and out like that. So it sort of sits on it there. Do you get me? And that there. And then just before we start messing about, let's put the other one in. Like that. Okay. Don't forget it is a what you call it, a doofa hybrid. So I'm going to put in a line there. A line there. Because it's like two sets of wings. That's the one behind it as well. You don't have to do the one behind it if you don't want. Now they do have legs, but they're hidden away. So I'm just going to put in the basis lines now. So I've got my 0.05 and I'm just going to do it I'm going to do the inside. Okay. I'm not putting that on yet because I'm going to be making some amendments to it. So rather than having it, I'm going to have a flatter. Looking at that, it might need it a little bit bigger, so just make it a little bit bigger. And that disappears because that's the other one. And then I'm not going to draw that in because that's changes there, but I'm going to draw this one in. And that one. And that one. And it goes in and comes out of the body. So it looks quite strange then. But let's get the beak into where the position that we want now. So do we want it there? Do we want it there? Or do we want it there? So it's got quite a long beak. I quite like that one there. So I'm going to get my pencil and I'm going to look at it. So straight over. So it goes around the head and then like that. And it has a bit of a dip there. So let's rub out some of these lines so you can see. So it looks a bit too square like that. Got no batteries for this, stupid art. So we've got a very thin line there. And I'm just going to take this in. That's it. So I'm going to get my fine pen and just draw it in now. So don't lose that nice shape. Get rid of the rest. It doesn't matter to me. So I'm not going to draw that in. So now let's go for it. I'm not going to do too much what you call it, messing about with anything else. I just want to do this shape for Nick. Just be as decorative or as pretty as you want it, but it's not about getting it anatomically correct, it's just about getting the image right. Just take a little bit of drawing when you're drawing things to break them down, but yeah, it really does help to just, and amongst all that drawing and lines with pencil, you can see it's quite a light drawing I've done, so I can actually change it and put heavier lines over it if I wish. So what I'm going to do is, I quite like the idea of this frame, but I don't want it, I think it's like quite symbolic that it's coming out of the frame sort of thing. So now I've got a basis to work on. I can add it. Where have I thrown the lid around here? Alexa, level 1. Okay, so I've got that. Oh, I didn't even say. I'm not even looking at words. Sorry. Oh, I hope all things are okay, Linda. Oh, hello, Fiona. Hi, Rachel. Oh. Hi, Dawn. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just a bird, but it's going to be hopefully a nice bird. But if you see, when you break it down, it was a circle, a potato, a sort of square like that, a triangle, and another triangle, and there's your bird. But then you'd put the conjoining things on. So I'm going to put in some feather shapes now, and I'm just going to do it so I can moodle. So here I'm just looking at suggestions. Now that's not bad, like that. So like that. So there's some places to moodle. Oh, what a nice thing. Oh, hello, Suzanne. Big gloves. I'm going to concentrate more. I'm going to concentrate more on animals this year because I just think they're wonderful. And you just can't beat it, you're right, Fiona. So I'm just looking now at bringing some interpretation in. Now, what I would do is look at the sort of colours and things on a hummingbird. So just going to see whether that works. No, it doesn't for me. So I'm going to make them into proper. So the way I do that is I separate some of them and just bring them back up so it's rounded, and then I can do some pattern like that. That's a bit better. So it's like a skirt really. Right, and also I'm going to look at the pattern on one. So the pattern is the nose. It's not a nose. That's not a nose with us. Right, okay. Alright, it's not a nose. So I think I might kick that out a little bit there. So here it goes. I'm going to do it as a moodle like that because it has like a flash of colour and an eye around about. So which one do I like? I don't know yet. So this flash of colour comes there and it has a nice, I think I might put a nice colour like that on it. So, okay, so we've got this rather dodgy looking bird. Okay, but it doesn't matter because we're going to draw on it. And then they've got this flower here. So what I'm going to do is just look at a flower. Any flower will do. One of my, you know, Moodle flowers will do. I've just put that trumpet flower on there, but we could do like a, to give an impression of quite a lot of scale. So what I'm going to do is just bring that round and draw it how I want. There's the, so do we want anything there? Just trying to think now, would it be better with, yeah, I could do it like that. So here, we're just going to do a really simple flower. And even if I chop that off a bit there. Okay, pen. So I'm going to go create a line, sort of straight. Don't do straight, as you know. So it's sort of, I've sort of got my shape. So I've done a double line round. The music is traditional. I don't know who that is, but I've got a full feeling this could be Brian. If it is, thank you. Really appreciate it. I know it's going to get watched later as well. So thank you. I do appreciate that. So I've got the basis now. I'm not happy with this body line. It just doesn't do anything for me. So should it be a bit smaller? Bear in mind, I've never drawn a bird in my life. I'm just going to do that as pattern wise. So I've extended that because then I can make it into a pattern so it blends. Here, I'm going to change this up a bit. So I'm just going to go for it. So I'm just going to go like that. And it needs a good clean now. I need a clean one. And what I mean is take it back, but I'm going to put a darker line on first and just secure it, as we say. You know, make sure it's down. I'm going to use a 5, so I'm just going to go for it now. So all I've done is done the flowers and then broke it down, and then just done that. Draw some shapes in. You don't need to follow the lines perfectly. Away. Ooh. So I've, committed. That's better. So we've got a really scruffy looking drawing, but it will come together. This is stylized, and the reason I've done it like this, so there's that some continuity between there and that. It looks crazy at the moment, but it will get better. So as I've done this here, I need to make sure that this is the outside line. So I'm just going to commit, and then take my time. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing I do ever is, and I don't ever want it to be. So I'm going to, although I've got a line there, I can easily just put a little bit of a bump on it so that it looks like part of the wings on top. Okay, lines are only there, you can change them whenever you want. So then I'm just going to follow this round, and then I'm going to put in that wing bit, which is really important because that's like it's attaching, and then that one I might even hide it behind, we'll see. I'll put it there. Let's get rubbing out. This is my favourite bit. I love this because it's like, wow, where did that come from? It looks so scruffy now. It's almost like putting your makeup on. You know, you're like, oh, looks alright that. Oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. So, you know what I mean? It gives you that idea that you're all cleaned up and spruced up, and you can actually see the lines, and it doesn't look as dodgy as you thought. It's just that with all those lines on it, it looked really mad before. But now we're getting a really clean little bird there emerging, I hope. And the thick and thin lines, but that has no problem. Kids, don't forget, it's a moodle, so blooming heck, we used one already. Blooming heck. Right, okay, so we've got that. I'm happy with that. I'm going to change from pattern to pattern. It looked nice on black, this as well. And I'm just going to put some stronger lines in, and then the body line, and then the head shape. I'm more or less done there. So I'm just going to put in there, and he's got a shape like that. And then commit with the eye. Is it there or there? Well, get your pencil out. Oh! There. I'm not too sure about that one yet. I'll see. I'll have to. I think it's better nearer. But I'll put them all in, and then it'll look a bit strange at the moment. But I'm not particularly bothered about that. So I've now got a really strange looking bird, but it's all about patterning now. So I'm trying to look for my colours on my computer that I've done. There, that's that's not one I like. Just bear with me while I get some colour. I just need to sort of get this first bit right, and then you can see it, and you know, and you can see how I do it, what I do, and some of the markings on it. So we've got this, and yeah, I'm going to put another bit in there. So that's better. I start to look at the pattern, and I can put some more patterns there. So I'm more or less done for that. So it still looks scruffy. So I'm going to go in with another. What I'm going to do at the beginning is I'm going to set down the back. So I'm happy I've got this like this, but I think I've just got to commit with there, done. Done. You've got to do it. You've got to do it. Otherwise you just fart around. Oh, sorry. Didn't you see me then? Haven't you been off? Ah! Oh! Right, anyway. Been going through all the pages of step by steps and stuff to see the best and easiest way, but I have to draw it myself. So what I'm going to do is just leave that there. Now, I'm going to do the background first, but before I do that, I'm going to put some weight in the border. Now, doesn't that look different already? So where we get these now, I'm just going to go freestyle with some little doodles of a leaf and that, and little curly cues. So it's just finishing those rough edges off. It's nothing like that, like a dingle dangle. So here we can do that, and we could just do a little love heart, and then we could do a line there and have a just a few little dangles. I think that finishes it off nicely. I'll just put some hatching in those hearts. Just put some shading in that. And then I'm doing this shape in there. You don't have to be neat because I don't want you to be. So I've had 3 knots there. Bring you down a little bit so you can see a bit better. So I've just put 3 dots there, and I could put another 3 there just to give it a bit of you've got to sometimes when you draw really cut yourself up thinking, oh, I don't look like anything, but it doesn't have to. Pattern is pattern. It doesn't have to look like something. And that's what I'm about, pattern and surface pattern. I really am. I wish I could win a bursary, but I'd love to do another degree at the Manchester, the MMU, and do an embroidery one. I could do a master's, that's what I mean, another master's, but I don't know set up, and I haven't got 10 grand. But I'd love to do one because the embroidery course is amazing. I nearly went on it when I did have the money. Not when I had the money, but when it was free, I could have done one. So I've got some strength in the patterning. Okay, so I've got a nice frame for him, and this is a personal thing. So if you wish to do this for someone else or someone you love or just for yourself, a bit of self-love, remember that you can do your own writing in it as well. So I'm just every now and again very with the pen. I don't want it to be overt. This is a celebration, right? So I'm not saying I want everyone to see what I'm writing because I don't. But if I just write in a little curlicue with a very fine pen. Now that's his name. It's hidden. Not that I want it to be hidden. I'm not saying anything like that. What I'm saying is, it's personal to me. Oh, don't tell me they're at it again. Oh, here we go. I'm just here. I'm just going to do it. Another little way I like to do it is like that. So it's more like a little pattern. So I wrote his name several times. And I'm looking at this shape and this around it. And I think the background's got to have something. And I like the idea of just little dots. Like little smokes that you never see. Like that. Little smokes like, you know, reminders of all the molecules and the energy around us. Where's it from? Well, it's from everything that's ever been created. That's my belief. So it's like they're always there. And I like the idea of them being around us, if that makes sense. Hope not I'm triggering anybody. Just doing some really simple shapes. So I'm going to start with some really whoppers. I'm not worried about scale too much with this. I'm more worried about actually, I'm not worried about how. I have to think then, what am I worried about? And I'm really not. Maybe I'm channeling him. I mean that in a very nice way. And if you're offended, I do apologise. It wasn't meant to be. You know, I'm not trying to put my opinion on anybody else. But it's such a beautiful emblem, you know, and the little molecules of life and how every little tiny bit means something. So I'm going to do a flower and I'll do a, so if I do it like that, and then the next one is a triangle just on the top ones, and if it's going that way, go to the middle and draw. So here, if you want to, this is for little Frankie, if you want to know where to go to, it's that corner to there. So it's that shape, and it just gives me a place to put a pattern. If you want to do it in the background, you can, but I'm going to put some dots in the background. So now I'm just going to put in the background of the flower. Do you know what? This is not ever what I draw. But I know for some reason it's the right thing to draw. It's weird, isn't it, that? I need to be careful of his little beak, so that's it. So I strengthened it with some lines. There we go. And it, you know, you can see it's a bit wobbly that head, isn't it? But I don't care. So I'm just going to put in the background now. I'm doing some pointillism. So anywhere that is on top of somewhere else will create a shadow. And rather than, if you want to do it with your pencils, please go ahead and do it. But I'm just showing some newbies that perhaps don't realise that dots can be shading, in fact, nicer than trying to shade. And the thing is, you can, if you're doing colour, you can put this underneath your colour and create even more sort of um, impact. So here I'm just going to do, I've got that shape onto, so I think that shape will be working nicely because it reminds me of the eye. Oh, you can see the pattern started. Okay, like that. So now I'm just going to go darker there, lighter, darker, lighter. I think I will colour this. There, like that. So we've got our, oh, the leg's stuck. And then we've got here. So on this one, I'm going to do little like towers. And I'm following that shape. And I'm going to colour something like that. We've both got that blooming virus back. Stupid, isn't it? If you've got a white pen, you can make them look quite funky as well. You know, put a white shadow on them and make them look like plastic or shiny, or not plastic, it's the wrong word. Glossy, that's the word I meant. So when I'm doing these, I'm following the shape of that there, and I get this like rounded shape, which gives even more impact. Is it coming forward or back? But it's also reminiscent of the feathers that we've got. I hope we get some more people watching later, because it's for Nick. It's not, I don't know. I just want him to know how much we cared. So I put some darker ones in, start to give it a little bit, but can you see how these really help? That noise you can hear is the wind, not my wind. Oh, you'd certainly hear that. But this is, I've got the door open. Just bringing in a little bit more where I can. Don't need too much, otherwise it starts looking like there's fleas on it or stuff. Just giving it a bit of impact. And you spread them out to the whiter parts. Sorry, lighter parts. Or whatever you want to call them. Where you want retain white or... So we've got our nice pattern. He's sort of like looking into it now, isn't he? But if you did another one, you could do it sort of where it's more of a like that, and you could just sort of see the flowers this way, like that. Oh, that's terrible. Look at that. So I'm going to put some patterning on now. Okay, so the first thing is I'm going to put in a very nice sort of line like this. That's much better. And I'm ignoring some of the other finer lines, and I'm just going to feed this into... That's better. Start to see it. But I've got these patterns here, so can you see how I've extended? Like that. So we've got that pattern in there. So we just follow it now. And then if I look round at that, perhaps then I'd leave that like that. Perhaps because it's a white, it's got like a light chested colour. It only feels right to leave it like that. Okay. So all I'm doing now is the markings that would be on it. The markings that would be on it, I'm translating into pattern. So I'm just bringing the pattern in now like that. Looks a bit strange at the moment, but you'll get it. You know, we don't want it to shoot off at the body, but you can do now if you want. You could sort of bring it round, and I'm going to do it in pencil, see what it looks like. Bring the body round. That makes sense to me. That's a pattern. So I'll put that in. So I'm just going to come round like that. It doesn't interfere with that. I'm going to give a double whammy line to that one and that one and this one, and that feels better to me already. Okay, so if we did that, would be I can always change him later. So we've got the background. Oh, thank you. It'll look better in the end, honestly. So here I'm just going to do the blah blah blah. Oh, it does. I'm gonna do like the black and white there. Like that, so the skirt effects there. And I'm just going to put in, using my fine pen, little noodles, tiny noodles. Okay, so here I'm just going to get rid of that one there. So I'm just going to put a line on there, and the reason I'm doing that is so that and then just put a little bit of pattern in, but as we did with the flower. See how it's giving it a little bit of something. I'm just rounding this a little bit. It looks a bit too stark. And because I've done those dodgy lines, which like wavy lines, I don't have to worry about straight edges. But you do need to keep. I'm having a problem keeping my pen upright, and the reason for that is because the camera's in the way. Or if it gets to the end of my pen, it'll just focus on that. So I'm doing it to the side, and what's happening is I'm getting little not divots, but they're not. Instead of it being like that, it's going like that. You see, instead of that. Big difference. So I've cleared up the background. I've got them on the flower. I've got a few here that I could really tidy up, get some good depth in by adding some darker ones. And then it's like put a few in there. And I've got his name around here. I'm loving this. I could put colour on it in a bit as well. So the next patterns, let's look at some beautiful patterns that would be. So here, do you like that? Just joining the patterns up. This is just ad hoc, this. So the pattern moves all the way through, but doesn't take over, because I could change the pattern in each one. And I could sort of make this similar by just doing that and introducing a little bit of pattern there. Thank you, Sarah. It's for you as well, you know, my lovely. It's for you, Sarah, as well, and you, because when you lost your partner, it's incredibly, it's just for us all. Looks like he's crying now, so I've got to be a bit careful. Just going to put it a little bit darker. So his beak's more or less done. I just want to put some nice patterning in here. So I'm just going to do this nice, simple one. Like that. And then I'll put in a, like that. Okay, so a little dot in there. So I've put a run of lines there so that if you do get the eyes wrong, you know, it's not going to be so like smack you in the face when you're doing it. I'm going to do a line of checkerboards, but I'm going to do them in a slightly different way. So I'm going to do it like that. So we'll do that one, that one, that one. So I've done wavy lines. So we get a checkerboard in it, but not too invasive. So we've got a nice checkerboard there. I'll do another one of these up here. There we go, so it's got a bit more of a flow. Looking effective. Oh, right, okay. Is that good or bad? So here I'm just going to put in like lines like that. So the more like that. And I'll show you what else I'm going to do as well. Like that. So you try all different ways of drawing, like you do it all ad hoc like that, or do you take your time and be a bit more deliberate? And I think it all depends on what you want to do. So what I've done now is I'm using that wiggly line, that there, and I'm just going to make one side slightly darker, like a feather. Did you see it? It's dead easy, isn't it? So it's like feather-like, well, she says, but it's also got lines going that way. And then I'm just going to put in some dots up here because there's plenty of lines, but they don't like going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. They're not that they don't like going anywhere. They're just not going anywhere. So it's just creating a little bit of depth as well. There we go. So we've got that. So we've got the main embodiment of it loving this. I'm going to put this wonderful shape here. And I'm going to put another one here. So it's repetitive. Okay. So I'm going to put another one in the middle. Oh, sorry. It's going to have quite a bit more depth to it. Like that. Black ball. Like that. And I'll just copy this through. I mean, when I was drawing it this morning, like that, I didn't have any idea what it's going to look like. And I didn't want to because I didn't want it to do it. I wanted it to be quite natural and spontaneous. Oh, good. Oh, please don't worry about your typing. You should know how sarcastic I am. I never presume that everything is good or anything's good. It's not finished till I like it. So I've got this here. So this needs to be recreated in the wing. And I think rather than catch them all, I could do it. Aha. There we go. I'm liking that. Yeah. I mean, I remember when I was doing the festival. Thank you. That's lovely to say. Thank you. Facebook user. When I was doing the festival, I had one lady said, and I totally got what she meant. She went, I said, why don't you do that pattern there? She said, it's too big. And it was not a dig, or I wasn't saying it, but it really shocked me that if it's unless it's the right size, people don't think that it'll fit, but unaware of you just changing the scale a little bit. And that sounds so off-putting by me. It's not like that. It showed me that I needed to clarify things. There was another lady who said, I'm fine, I'm really confused because I put all my little samples out to show, and I was doing a black card or whatever, and hers was orange and that. And she said, I'm totally confused. Oh, thank you. Um, I get totally confused. She said, because that colour's not the same. And I went, right, I get you. I should have mentioned right at the beginning. You can't take for granted that people understand what you're doing. You've got to mention it. So I should have mentioned at the beginning, look, this is only an idea or a serving suggestion. It's not, what you've got to do. So I'm just going to put those on there like that. I like that. I like that a lot. So I'm just going to put in a shape like that. I'm going to put in another little checkerboard. And I can go in with a pen, a white pen. See how it's blending hopefully. Like it reminds me of fields, flying. If you look at Escher, flying over fields and houses and things. Thank you. So these patterns here will just be simple, following the shape patterns. So again, if you can see like not chimneys, buildings, railway arches and stuff, like flying above it all. I hope that makes sense. You know, like a landscape of fields. You get it? Oh, I hope you do. No, same pattern, different pattern inside. And then I'll look at these and I'll think, right, okay. Dots in that one. It's a very personal one, this. So really, if it's not your style, that be because, you know, it's for different. So here, let's think of another pattern that I really love. Let me have a look through my book. Oh, I know. That don't really go with that, so no. Oh, I know what. Let's do it here first. Get me find a pen. See what I mean by weight as well. If I'd have put this pattern in a bigger pen nib, it would have obliterated all that. But as it is now, it gives it a bit of light and relief. But I could go over the lines as well and change direction slightly, because you do get really repetitive with this if you're not careful. So I'll put a little bit here. Just make it accordingly fit. Don't worry too much if it looks different to the rest. It should do. There we go. So it's got that little bit in there. They're like the oh, thank you. Oh, it's Terry. Sorry, is it Terry? I thought it might have been Brian, but thank you, Terry, very much. Not in love with the tail, but I think I could shade it and make it right. So we've got these patterns here. I'll have another look for another one. Oh. That might work. Come on, where's the others? Oh. Oh, that might work, look. Remember them? That and that and that. Like that. But I like that. Oh, I like that one. Look at that. Perfect. So it's going to have that in it. So I've done two in like a pattern. Something else. So what was it? Oh, I know that one where it does a. I'll do two here. Two. Miss two. Miss two. So I've got two, miss two, put the light brickwork in. Well, if we do that, hopefully it looks like it's moving. So I've done that. Yeah, I like that. Have another look at the other work. Oh, yes. Oh, that'd work because it's that one there. That'd work in there because it's got that shape, hasn't it? So we could do a. Don't really work now. It's sort of lost it. You have to be prepared to do stuff like that because it doesn't always fit, and you can knock yourself out trying to make things fit. But I've just got a couple of more to do, and then I'm nearly done. Right, okay, I'll try some darker ones now. So these are very much thicker pen. Like that. Same design, different weight. Right, okay, so we've got that. Oh, need to get going with it, but I don't want to bore everybody. But there was another one that I thought would go in that last bit where the wings are. Quite like that. So I'm going to go with that. Will it fit? No, it won't fit. So I'm going to go with a wobble. Take the edge off these. Just softens it up. It looks a bit too hard at the moment for me. Just going to put a little dashes in that. And I think the way oh yeah, that makes him look better. Here it is up to you what you do, but I need to see like a feather pattern that, well, not a feather pattern because I don't want to see a feather pattern, but a pattern that would be suitable for the feather and fit that shape. And I'm looking for my work. I'll know it when I find it. Oh! Oh, yes. Oh, that fade. Wait for it. I'll do every other one. Okay, so we do the lines like that. I'm just doing lines around them, so it'd be like, I want it to look like tree bark. With knots, although I don't want it to look like tree bark. Like that. Oh, like that. Beautiful. Very, it's definitely Escher. If you look up MC Escher, and it would be very fitting for Nick because it's like it's tessellation. and he created like fields and checkerboards. They gradually just change shape slightly. Before you know it, you've got a bird, and it's incredible. So if you can have a look at Escher. He did the hand writing a hand, and the never-ending shape. So there we go. We've weighted that down. I am just going to put in here a little bit more weight, because these are the strong bits at the end, the flights, aren't they? So these are going to need impact and power, and I'm just going to put in 2 there, 1 there. I don't care if I can only get 1 in or 2. It doesn't matter to me. So I've got that. Just going to darken this down. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want you to see that that is behind that. So you do all your colouring first. You do all your drawing. Or what you can do is do this first and then your drawing. It's entirely up to you how you like to work it. But I just like to give it a little bit of the pointillism just to give it more depth. Like it's sort of setting it back now a little bit. There we go. Oh, thank you so much. Very nice of you. I'm just going to put in some little stars every now and again. There we go. Not all over. And it's definitely going to be lighter in areas. I'm going to get my fine pen. That's it. So now I'm just going to put in a little bit around here. It looks a bit scruffy, so I'm going to put I hope people giving themselves a little bit of self-care, you know. Get them good knickers on. Don't leave them in cupboard. So when you do put them on, your fingers go through them because they're disintegrating. Not a moth inside. Well, mine do. So maybe it's just a withers thing. Could be. There we go. Black eye. You needed that. I'm just going to go out like this. So he's got some making me very emotional, this. Very emotional. So yeah, it really is. Wow. Wow. I'm sorry. Should be getting emotional. I can't help it. Oh wow. So I'm just putting a little bit around him. Or her or them. I went into a pub last night, town, can't remember. And the ladies and gents toilets were all together. But it had, you know, the ladies sign and the gents sign cut in half and stuck that together. Thought that was class, that hilarious. I'm gonna be quite Be nice 3D. This. Let's see. Just that little bit. I know. It's about using what you've got. Don't keep things for best. Get it used, because if you don't, it'll either get too big, too small, disintegrate. Out of fashion. So get them out. Get your Sunday best on. Get using that good stuff. Right, I am super happy with this. Super happy. There's areas I'm not happy with, like the tail bit, but I think I'm not going to be hard on myself because I've never drawn this bird before. And I've had to make it so that it noodles. And then I'm very proud of the fact that it's made me start to look at it like, all the travelling and over hills and, like a bird's eye view flying over bridges and fields and houses and roads and to that massive flower in the sky. Collecting ambrosia and nectar. Quite poignant. These names in it. So I'm just going to do... Now, if you've got a fatter pen, I think I have here, you can put in some really purposeful ones. Is this my fattest one? Ah! Ha ha! Oh! Ha ha! No, I need a fatter one. Although it's a Sharpie, it's a... Aha, that's it. This is a 0.7 V-ball. That's it. Now, so just write his name on it. Like that. Hidden, but in plain sight. And it becomes part of the decoration and pattern, like Nick's power and energy has become part of the community. Just going to lift it a bit for you. So I'm going to clean it up, but I'm incredibly pleased with this. Incredibly pleased with it. I don't like that one though. It says far more than I thought it was going to say, in a way that had I wanted to say it, I couldn't have said it any better. So I'm going to draw some hearts around now and just give them like my little touches with the don't stop being creative. He was very ill and poorly, but it didn't stop him campaigning to get a new machine, and he went to Bulgaria because, as far as I know, could be wrong, that the air was better for him. So, right, okay, I'm done. I am happy. So, I'm going to read your comments. I'm very, very grateful for your time. It's quite a personal thing, but I'm glad that you could join me on my journey. And you'll owe me Ecoline pens just to black out some of these, or darken, whatever you want to call it. But if you've got a white pen, you can add, when it's dry, highlights to this, and it looks, I think one of the things that I see it reminds me of Tim Burton. Don't know why, just does. And I can get some great shading with this if I wish. That's better. Yeah, that's better. Yes, I'm loving it. Love it. I need to do, I could use a wash and a pen, and I've got my brushes in my bag. I just need a bit of water. Don't want to put Pepsi on it, it'll go all over. Just to give it a bit more of it. Mark? He's not going to love me for this. Bit of spit. Sorry, it's not spit at all, it's just a bit of stuff. Water off my can. Look. This paper's not made for it, so it doesn't. But you just get the idea of it. Like you see, it's pulling stuff out, pushing it back, and I'm just gonna get a bit of shading on some of these, so each side. Do you like it? I love it. I love it. Thank you. It's a celebration of lovely Nick. All that energy and power, but it has to stay with us, in my opinion. And there we go, little name on it. So, although he died at the end of July, it was very, very difficult. You know, you certainly don't want to be talking to people if you're going through like the heartbreak of your life, or however you want to call devastation or panic or whatever the outcome is of your disaster. So we found out about it a little bit later, but it doesn't stop us celebrating a wonderful, yeah, I like that little tribute to our lovely Nick from Barnsley and Nick from Bulgaria. So I'm off now. I've got some drawings to do, but I hope you like these because these animals are very, very popular. Thank you very much indeed, and thank you all for spending some time with me and celebrating someone very close to us. As I hope that if you've lost anybody near and dear, maybe this you contribute to this as well, to your loved ones, care, family, people, friends. Okay, so thank you, and all my love to everybody who's going through a really rubbish time. We are here. Okay, bye.